Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. It is a warm, sunny day here in downtown Detroit as we welcome you to Comerica Park. The final game of this first half, final game in this series featuring the Texas Rangers and your Detroit Tigers. And heading into the break, one game to go. The Tigers have a game-and-a-half lead over Cleveland in the American League Central Division. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen, glad to have you with us. One more to go before we hit the All-Star break. Hopefully a win today for the Tigers, Rod, and that would mean a pretty good feeling going into the break.
Oh, no doubt about that, and they will go into the break in first place, so that's always a bonus. But that Cleveland Indians team, they're playing some good baseball, so the second half should be outstanding and very interesting.
All right, one guy that will be important in the second half was very important here in the first half, Austin Jackson. Hopeful that he will have a good finish to this first half and then kind of take off in half number two.
You know, it seems like every time this offense starts to click on all cylinders, Austin Jackson is right in the middle of everything. He scores bunches of runs. He scored 56 runs this year, even though he has spent a month on the disabled list. And since he's come back from the DL, he's hit the ball out of the ballpark. He's driving in runs. His on-base percentage is nearly 400, and he has scored 23 runs. And that's just on the offensive side of the ball. We all know what Austin does defensively. He is one of the classiest and athletic and one of the best center fielders in the game of baseball.
All right, after a short break, we'll send you back to the Coliseum Studios and join Justin White. But coming up in this one today, as we wrap up the first half, JV is headed to the All-Star game. It'll be his 6th All-Star appearance. The Tigers, the Rangers, Game 3 next. Back here at Comerica Park, where Justin Verlander is taking to the field today. The Tigers and the Texas Rangers wrapping up the first half here in the Motor City, wrapping up this 3-game series as well. Each team has a victory in this series. Here's the starting lineup for the Rangers, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Ian Kinsler starts it off. Then Leonis Martin in the 2 spot. All-star Nelson Cruz in right field. Beltre cleaning up. Moreland at first. Andrews the shortstop. They've got Jurickson, Profar, Giovanni Soto, and David Murphy rounding out their lineup, and they are facing the right-handed offerings of Justin Verlander, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Verlander would love to go into the break with that winning taste in his mouth, and if he does so, it'll be his 10th win of the year against 6 losses, a 3.71 ERA. He has punched out 122 and walked just 42. So Verlander looking to have a very good outing here today against this good Texas Rangers offense.
And it's a hot, steamy afternoon here in the Motor City as Ian Kinsler settles into the batter's box. We are ready for baseball here today. Kinsler, then Martin, and then Cruz. And Verlander set to go to work. Here we go. The first pitch is hit in the air, right side, trailing toward foul ground, and it's going to be caught on the run by Hernan Perez.
Beaumont Health System will sponsor the starting defensive alignment for the Tigers this afternoon. Tuiasa Sopo in left, getting the start against the left-hander Perez today. Jackson Hunter in the outfield with Tui. Miguel Peralta, Perez, and Victor Martinez in the infield, and Alex Avila behind the dish today.
You know, every time Martinez plays first base, he seems to turn in a spectacular play.
I'll go for that.
We'll just see if he does it again here today, as Prince gets the afternoon off from his defensive duties. Leonis Martin looks at a strike, 0-1. Martin, 286. He's hit 5 home runs, and he's knocked in 16, batting in the 2 slot in the first game of the series. He was batting in the 9 hole, but batting second the last 2. And it's a ball outside, 1-1. Martin right now 3 for his last 17. Justin Verlander trying to head to the All-Star break with a victory here. Here's the 1-1. Wave and a miss, and you get the feeling, Rod, that Verlander has a little bit something to prove here today. He wants to go into the All-Star break with his 10th win, and that would be pretty cool.
Well, he's tired of teams scoring bunches of runs against him as well. They scored 5 runs against Verlander. Did the Chicago White Sox 5 days ago. And through 7 innings, he had only given up 1 run to them. So Verlander most definitely wanting to go into the All-Star break with a real positive taste in his mouth as he heads to New York.
Now, Verlander has had 10 or more wins before the All-Star break 5 times. And a victory here today would make it 6. 2-2 on Leonis Martin. And he missed outside with it, 3-2. Nelson Cruz waiting in the on-deck circle. He is an all-star this year for the Rangers, along with Joe Nathan. Now JV steps off. Just underway here on a warm afternoon here in the Motor City.
Another packed house as well. Sellouts the first couple of games of this series against Texas.
Now the 3-2 pitch. Popped up foul, back out of play. Tigers are used to sellouts. They're used to huge crowds. They've got another one here this afternoon. Tigers average 36,000 plus, almost 37,000.
Standing room only
per home game, and there just aren't too many seats available.
All draped in their Tigers gear.
Martin again waiting on a 3-2. Here it is. And he fouls another one back out of play. Martin 1 for 8 in the series. And what we've seen out of this young man this year is plenty of defensive skill, and they certainly feel that he's going to hit at this level as well. Deep breath for Verlander. Again, the 3-2. And he walked him. 1 on, 1 out for the Rangers.
It's the last thing he wanted to do with Martin. Martin, real good speed over at first base. And he's turned into a pretty good base stealer. And before getting caught on Tuesday in Baltimore, he had swiped 16 straight bases.
19 overall this year in 22 attempts, which puts him at 86%. Here's Nelson Cruz batting .280. Cruz had a big game yesterday, 4 for 9 in the series. And it's in for strike one. However, Cruz has not had much luck against Justin Verlander, just 2 for 17. Whoa, was that close?
Verlander has very quick feet, and it appeared that Martin was kind of stretching his lead there and almost got caught napping over at first base.
Yeah, he was leaning towards second. Well, that was a quick tag, too, by Victor. Cruz yesterday was 4 for 5 in the game, scored a couple of runs. Rangers able to deal Max Scherzer his first loss of 2013.
Cruz is a dangerous bat and a really good breaking ball hitter.
Runner goes. Here comes the throw down to second. It is in time. Martinez cut down by Alex Avila.
Give Justin Verlander a lot of credit for Avila being able to throw Martin out at second base. He threw over to first base a couple different times. Martin had to shorten his lead, and by him having to shorten the lead gave Avila enough time to get the ball down to Perez and for Perez to apply the tag to Martin.
Base is empty. And Cruz hits one in the air to right field and deep, backing up Hunter, still going, warning track wall to make the catch. That'll be it for the Rangers, and we'll go to the bottom of the first. Comerica Park in a scoreless game. The Tigers starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. And it's Jackson, Hunter, and Cabrera at the top. No changes there. Fielder Martinez, Peralta in the middle. As you look at the highlighted All-Stars, Tuiasa, Sopo, Avila, Hernan Perez round out the lineup for Detroit. And they are facing Martin Perez.
Martin Perez has a really good fastball that will get up to 95 miles an hour. He also features a curveball and a slider and a well above average changeup. And in 5 starts, sparkling numbers for the youngster. 2.08 ERA, and he's won 3 games and lost 1.
Boy, do the Rangers have a lot of youth really participating in some key spots. We saw a couple of the young guys come out of the bullpen in game 1.
They have kept their season intact because with all the injuries to their everyday starting rotation at the beginning of the year, they would not be where they are today had it not been for the young kids.
Austin Jackson leading it off, then Hunter and Cabrera. Martin Perez, 22 years of age, a native of Venezuela. Here's the 1-0. Fouled straight back, 1-1 on Jackson.
I was talking to Ron Washington today in his office about Perez, and he said he's part of their future. He's got a clean delivery, a repeatable delivery.
It gets to a really good arm slot pitch after pitch after pitch, and usually works down around the knees.
He was down around the knees there, but missed it a little bit outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Jackson 2 for 7 in the series, batting .284. He's hit 5 home runs this year. Swing and a miss.
3 of the 5 have come since Jackson has come off the disabled list,
in which he has done some of his best work. Jackson over 300 since coming off the DL.
And we'll see if Perez wants to go to that changeup here. He'll feature that changeup more so to the right-handed hitters.
And he got him, strike 3. Fastball.
Jackson may have been looking for that changeup and took that 94-mile-per-hour heater right down the middle. Take a look at the starting defense for the Texas Rangers this afternoon. It is sponsored by Tim Hortons. Morton, Martine, and Cruz, the all-star in the outfield. Profar, Andrews, Kinsler, Moreland in the infield, and Giovanni Soto is the catcher.
Torrey looks at a strike 0-1.
Profar down at third base, giving Adrian Beltre a day off of his feet. Profar, the very talented rookie, will play all over the infield, and he had 1 start in left field here on Friday night.
There's the #1 prospect in baseball. At least he was coming into this season.
Well, Ron Washington is faced with the very difficult duty of finding playing time for Profar because he's not good enough to be an everyday player on his squad. So he just has to mix and match the best that he can to make sure he stays with some playing reps, and also it doesn't hurt the team.
1-2 the count on Torrey Hunter. We're in the bottom of the first, no score. Perez with the 1-2, and it bounces in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's been a good series for Torrey, 4 out of 8. Trying to get on base for that guy right there, Miguel Cabrera.
Been a good decade for him.
Triple crown last year, and he hadn't slowed down. Here's the 2-2. Driven deep to left field. That ball is up and gone. Into the seats and left beyond the bullpen. A line drive home run for Torrey.
Torrey Hunter takes breaking balls and hits them as far as any Tiger. And it looked like he got himself a little 74-mile-per-hour breaking ball from Perez that stayed up, and Torrey's eyes lit up, and there goes the bat flip, and he just starts trotting.
And it always brings to mind the words of wisdom from Kirby Puckett as he was a youngster. Curveballs are a gift from God. Don't miss your blessing.
Especially on Sunday.
And Torrey has just hit a breaking ball out. Here's Miguel Cabrera. 7th home run of the year now for Torrey. 1-0 Detroit. A couple of hits in the series for Miguel, batting .367. Rolled foul right at home plate. 1-1. Hunter has also just picked up his 44th RBI. He's headed to the All-Star game, and he will do so with an above 300 average.
44 ribbies out of that #2 slot. That's pretty good work.
Well, he's done a good job of driving in people ahead of him and certainly setting the table for Cabrera, Fielder, Martinez, Peralta. 3-1 on Miguel. There's Prince waiting on deck. Now Perez ready with the 3-1 pitch. And he missed it outside. It's a walk. So Miggy is aboard. We'll bring up Prince Fielder.
Yeah, that might happen all afternoon to Miguel Cabrera. No disrespect to Prince Fielder, but with the left-handed Perez being on the mound, and really no need in trying to challenge Victor and Miggy and Prince all day. So you put Miggy on and you go after the other 2.
Fielder looks at ball 1. 360 this year following a Cabrera walk. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Prince is safely in his last 4 and currently 4th in the American League with 69 RBIs. Cabrera certainly has been the headliner here in the first half, but Prince has backed him up with some good run production. Wave and a miss again. 1-2.
This guy's got a good arm. His fastball will go anywhere from 91 to 95, and he could spot it too. 4-seam variety.
You can see why Perez was the leading candidate for the 5 spot in the rotation in spring training, and probably had it won, but he was injured when he took a line drive off his arm. Bouncer right back up the middle, knocked down by Perez. Still going to go to second with an awkward throw. They'll get the force there.
Cost himself a double play. And then take a look at Perez after he delivers the ball toward home plate. He is not in a position to field the ball. Had he been in a position to field it and then not hitting him in the back of the leg, he might have been able to turn 2 here. That's why you got to be able to field your position.
It also appeared that Perez at the last second decided to go to second base.
Well, he was probably shocked that he still had a play at second.
Yeah. So 2 outs, and here is Martinez with a man at first. And he shoots one to the second baseman. Diving stop there. Kinsler to his feet. Could throw him out. Nicely done by Ian Kinsler. The Tigers settle for 1 run. And they do it on a big swing by Torrey Hunter. Homer number 7 for Hunter. And it's 1-0 Detroit. Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. And by Lee Cuisine, be culinary chic. Spectacular day here at the ballpark. 1-0 in favor of the Tigers on the Torrey Hunter home run. And Adrian Beltre will lead it off for the Rangers here in the second. And he looks at a strike called. Justin Verlander taking the hill after throwing just 12 pitches in that first. Helped out by Martin being thrown out trying to steal. Beltre, Moreland, Andrews in the Texas second. Popped up foul, back out of play. No balls, 2 strikes on Beltre, having himself a really good first half. 318. 21 homers, and the month of July has been awfully good.
He should be on the All-Star team, but with Miguel and Machado and making the team as third baseman, not a lot of room for guys like Adrian Beltre.
The 0-2 is inside. JV came in with a fastball.
That kid Donaldson out in Oakland, also having an all-star type season.
There's Mitch Moreland waiting on deck. And the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Beltre's had decent numbers against Verlander. Maybe more than decent. 306 career against JV. Here's the 2-2. Outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jim Leland, his entire coaching staff, and of course the Tigers that made the All-Star team will hop the plane after this game. They will head to New York.
They get to take their families with them too,
which is really nice.
Yeah.
Some of the Texas contingent will be on the same plane with the Tigers since they are here in town. There's a bouncing ball left side on the backhand. Peralta. Beltre hobbles down the line at first base. He's out.
It's a nice gesture by the Tigers organization to allow the members of the Texas Rangers that are going to New York to fly on the chartered plane.
Yeah, Mr. Ilitch has done that in the past and has been very generous again this year.
Other teams do that for the Tigers as well. When they happen to be on the road, they can piggyback a ride with that particular team's all-stars to get to where they need to go to as well.
Here is Mitch Moreland. Moreland batting in the 5 slot, has knocked in 37 this year. And Verlander throws a strike on the outside corner. Moreland has had hamstring issues. He missed a month last year with a hamstring problem and missed some time this year as well. Now the 0-1. Lifted toward left. It'll be routine for Tuiasa Sopo. 2 gone. And now Elvis Andrus. Rangers coming into this game had the best road record in the American League at 27-21. Second best in the majors behind St. Louis. Andrus in the series 1 for 7. He has scored a couple of runs. And he looks at strike 1. JV continues to get ahead of hitters. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Andrus right now in a bit of a tough stretch. 1 for his last 13. In fact, he has only 2 extra base hits in his last 49 games. He's been lowered in the lineup. Here's the 1-1. Driven foul down the left field line. 1-2. There's no question this guy is among the best defensively in the American League at his position.
He's a better offensive player than 244 as well, and he'll be a lot higher than that when the season is over.
Verlander ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he rolls 1 to short. Johnny right there. Verlander has himself a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left. Bottom of number 2 coming up from Comerica. Nothing on a Torrey Hunter home run, and we remind you to vote for your Tigers McDonald's player of the game. Presented by the new Detroit Tigers M&M McFlurry only at McDonald's. Using your cell phone, text Tigers, then a space, and the player's uniform number to 37338, or if you prefer, vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. Well, it's a spectacular day here as we wrap up the first half of 2013, heading into the All-Star break. Tigers will go into the break with a lead in the Central. They came in a game and a half up on Cleveland. Johnny Peralta takes a ball down low, 1-1.
And Johnny Peralta going to the All-Star game for the second time as a Tiger and the second time in his career. As a matter of fact, all the Tigers players that are going to the All-Star game all got their jerseys today before the game.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
A little ceremony before the contest here today. They all lined up, all got their jerseys.
They will be well represented.
That they will. Here's the 1-2. Foul tip into the glove for strike 3. Second strikeout for Martin Perez. Here's Tuiasosopo. 329 overall for Tuiasosopo, but in June and July, awfully good. 358 combined for those 2 months. Ball 1 missing outside. Tuiasosopo, 6 home runs for the Tigers this year. Ball outside, 2-0. Remember the start that Tui got off to in spring training this year?
Wasn't good.
No, not at all. And not many thought he would make the team, but he really came on. Had a great second half of the spring and then found himself on the major league roster.
Tuiasosopo was that one guy this spring training that really benefited from the fact that spring was a little bit longer because of the World Baseball Classic. And because it gave him about 7-8 extra days, and he was on fire down the stretch. And he won that job.
Wave and a miss, 2-2. Previous big league time with Seattle. He is from the Great Northwest.
The bulk of his work this year has come against left-handed pitching, although Jim has given him a couple of courtesy starts against right-handers.
2-2 on Tuiasosopo. 333 against righties. 327 versus lefties. RBI production just about even up. Grounded slowly towards short. Andrews backhands it. And Tui is out, 2 gone.
Tigers hitters need to get ready to hit that fastball because Martin has given them a steady dose of heaters. And it really doesn't matter the count. Fastball's firm. It's 14 at 95 miles an hour.
Here is Alex Avila. 1 for 3 in the series for Avila. Martin, as we mentioned, only 22 years of age, a native of Venezuela. Tigers really had only seen him in relief up until today, but he looks like he has some really good stuff, and you can see why they are excited about his future. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Grounded toward first, straight at Moreland, and it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning. Nothing doing for the Tigers as we go to the third. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
First base, and it seems like every time he does get an opportunity, he turns in a dazzling play. No play more dazzling than the no-look play he got here, shuffling to Smiley to get the out at first base. And his last start in Cleveland, a real nice play, taking a double away from that left-handed hitter down in that right field line with sprawling, diving play.
You get the sense that Victor just loves getting out on the field anywhere.
Yeah, he told me as much one day in the clubhouse. He says he has embraced his role as the designated hitter. That's why he signed to come here, but it's always refreshing to get out at first base, and he hopes to get behind that plate again sometime before his Tiger career is over.
Jurickson Profar leading it off. It'll be the bottom three for Texas here in the third. Tigers have a 1-0 lead on a Torrey Hunter home run. First pitch hammered back out of play by Profar.
And now you can do to Profar what you'd like to do, and that's get him out in front of some breaking balls. Lightning quick bat from the left side, good fastball hitter, but he struggles with off-speed pitches.
Profar 4 out of 8 in the series. 241 batting average. And he looks at a ball high. Jurickson comes from Curacao, which has produced some big leaguers. In fact, he used to play in his childhood with a couple of guys who play in the big leagues right now from Curacao. 1-1 is low, 2 balls, 1 strike. Andrelton Simmons of the Atlanta Braves from Curacao, and Didi Gregorius, the Arizona shortstop. They all play together as kids.
Isn't that where Andrew Jones is from?
Andrew Jones, very good. He's probably the most
famous,
decorated. Yeah, no doubt. 2-1 pitch, low, 3-1.
The Tigers had a kid too that wore their uniform as well from Curacao. Was it Randall Simon?
Randall Simon, yeah. There's Giovanni Soto waiting on deck. He is not from Curacao.
Randall Simon left the dugout swinging that bat.
That he did. That he did. You would never have to worry about a lengthy at bat for Randall.
He was slashing.
Ellis got dinged up again on a backswing this time.
He gets hit more than any catcher that we've seen of any of the other teams on these particular type swings.
There has to be a reason for all of these times where he gets like that, just nailed, other than coincidence. He's all right. Speaking of Randall Simon, remember that one time he took a bat?
I do.
To the mascots?
I do.
In Milwaukee?
Milwaukee.
They had the racing mascots, and he took a bat out and just leveled one of them.
The sausage race.
The sausage race, that's what it was. 3-2 pitch. Roller back to the mound. JV handles this one. Profar's up. Let's go back to the studio now for a game break. Here's Shannon Hogan. All right, Shannon, thanks. Here it is, 1-0 Detroit as we play in the third. Soto fouls it straight back.
So it appears that the Cleveland Indians are just not going to go quietly in the American League Central this year.
Does that surprise you at all?
It does a little bit, because I just don't see the starting staff right now to sustain where they have been.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised as well. Game and a half lead right now for Detroit. That bounces in, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Cleveland's had a very difficult time of beating the Tigers this year, but apparently not having a difficult time of beating the other teams that they play against.
Well, when you look at that rotation, certainly Masterson has been among the best. Kluber has had some good starts here and there. That breaks outside and low, 2-1.
Jimenez has taken a step for the better, and Scott Kazmir has given them some quality starts as their number 5 guy.
I thought Kazmir looked pretty good against the Tigers in Cleveland. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Soto sends a ground ball foul to third base. Souvenir. 2-2.
So far, Verlander looks good. It doesn't look like he's in a hurry to do anything. He's appears to be real cool, calm, and collected. Mixing in all his pitches, fastball, curve, slider, and the changeup. Throwing lots of strikes.
Verlander's thrown 35, 21 have been strikes.
69% of the 35 pitches that Verlander has thrown have been off-speed pitches. So he hasn't challenged the Rangers with a lot of heaters yet.
Swing and a miss.
There's another off-speed pitch.
And that is the first strikeout of the game for JV. He's retired 6 in a row, 2 gone.
Good slider here by Verlander at 85 miles an hour. His slider has a much tighter spin than the breaking ball. Doesn't have nearly the same kind of depth that the curveball does, but it does slide east to west in the strike zone.
We'll bring up Murphy now with the bases empty. JV has faced the minimum as we play here in the third. Murphy batting .221. Ball outside. Pretty good numbers in his career facing Tigers pitching. .312 for David Murphy. Now the 1-0. Ball high, 2-0 the count.
Verlander not finishing that changeup here today. He's thrown several changeups to the left-handers, and the majority of them have stayed up in the strike zone. Got to get that release point out in front a little bit further to get that ball down and fading away from the lefties.
Now it's 3-0.
Wouldn't shock me here if Ron Washington turned Murphy loose on a 3-0 fastball if he gets it right down the middle.
He'll take it. It's 3-1. Only base runner so far for Texas. The walk to Martin back in the first. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Driven in the air toward left field. Tuiasosopo going back. Track front of the wall to make the catch. It's a 1-2-3 inning. Verlander has retired 7 straight. Torrey Hunter's home run has given the Tigers a 1-0 lead. Now for the Bernstein Advantage scouting report on all the youth this year for the Texas Rangers. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you. Most starts by pitchers 26 or younger. Rangers have 81 of them this year. And Martin would fall into that category. Perez, that is.
But the thing about all these teams, they're in the hunt. I mean, Cardinals are right there, Tampa there, Diamondbacks in first, A's in first place, and this Rangers team is right there too. So apparently the youth have served those 5 clubs very well.
Yeah, the guys that bring it up are doing it, getting it done. Hernan Perez, 2 out of 11 since being called up from the minor leagues. The 0-2 is strike 3 call. That didn't take long as Perez carved him up.
Brought this up last half inning. I don't know if some of the guys are looking for off-speed pitches because Perez does have a well above average changeup, but he has thrown a lot of fastballs and they need to get ready to hit it.
Here's Austin Jackson. Jackson swings on the first pitch and skies it to shallow right center, and it's caught by Cruz. 2 outs. They say that Perez has or was rated as having the best changeup in the organization for the Rangers. To go along with that good fastball, he is from Venezuela, as we mentioned, only 6 feet.
He hasn't brought it out yet today, and not with a consistent amount of times throwing it, but he will before the game's over. Right now he's getting by on his fastball.
Strike 1 on Torrey, who got him for a homer back in the first.
You gotta love his delivery. Real clean delivery, repeatable delivery. He pitches with a lot of confidence. Tigers saw a pretty good left-hander yesterday in Derek Holland, who slowed down the Tigers' bats for an evening.
Well, they've got Harrison on the DL. They got Feliz on the DL. They've got Lewis on the DL. Ogando on the DL.
Derek Holland, he pitched a real good game last night.
Driven to center field. Martin will put on the brakes and make the catch, and it's a 1-2-3. Top 4 coming up. 1-0 Detroit. To you by Arby's. Try the mighty taste of Arby's Mighty Minis today. Arby's, slicing up freshness. And by Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Round and round we go here at the ballpark. Tigers and Rangers in the final game of the first half. And final game of this series. 1-0 in favor of Detroit on the Torrey Hunter home run. Another packed house here at the ballpark today. Final time to catch the team here in Detroit for a little bit, because the Tigers open up the second half in Kansas City. They'll be in KC and Chicago. And return home on the 26th. Top of the order coming up. It'll be Ian Kinsler to start things off. Kinsler, Martine, and then Cruz facing Justin Verlander. First pitch outside, 1-0. Kinsler popped up. That started the ball game. 0 for 1 and now 2 for 9 in the series. He has a couple of walks. JV's 1-0 pitch. Fouled back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Ian Kinsler stole his 162nd base last night in the 9th inning of the game and is now the Rangers all-time stolen base leader.
Don't tell us who is, because that's a trivia question.
Is it really?
It is. Just wanted to stop you.
Now, why didn't I see that today?
Before they scrambled in the truck. There's a ball inside. 2-1 the count.
And he's 1 of 5. Let me change directions. He's 1 of 5. And the only one in the American League since 2006 with more than 150 home runs and 150 stolen bases.
Nicely done.
Has the only one in the American League.
Power, speed. Always a great combination to have, and he has been on display at the top of the Texas lineup when they're doing their best work. That's fouled back out of play. In fact, the Rangers are 42-23 when Kinsler is in the lineup. When he's not, they are 4 games under.
He's a lot like Jackson. They might have Andrus leading off when Kinsler was out, but Andrus just does not get around the bases and touch home plate as efficiently as Kinsler does. Austin Jackson's the same way for our squad.
We've got a nose for home plate. That's drilled to right field. Torre is going to cruise back for this one. 1 out. Hey, by the way, here's the AT&T trivia question.
What would that be?
Well, the question is, who did Ian Kinsler surpass last night as the all-time stolen base leader for Texas?
Oh.
I know it's all coming as a surprise, but that's your question. Here is Leonis Martin. Tried to drop down a bunt, and it drilled Avila.
Good idea by Martin. He's got real good speed. And anytime you can use that speed to get on base, you want to use it to your advantage. Avila will be happy to see the All-Star break come.
He may spend the entire All-Star break in an ice bath. All 4 days. Yeah, you might want to turn away from that. Alex hit the deck. But as per usual, he'll stay in the game and try and walk it off, I suppose. Catch his breath. 0-1 on Martin. He is their only base runner today. He walked in the first inning. One ball, 1 strike on Martin. High, 2-1. Verlander has retired 8 consecutive Rangers in search of his 10th win heading to the All-Star break. And the 2-1. Fouled off at home plate. 2-2 on Martin. Rangers in a battle of their own in the standings. They came in trailing Oakland by 1 game in the West, and you would think that that is probably going to be a battle that'll be waged all of the second half, as it was last year when the A's caught them on the last day of the season. Fouled back out of play.
Ron Washington has done marvelous work with this Texas Rangers franchise since they've been entrusted into his care. Back-to-back World Series. Got to the postseason last year, lost that 1-game playoff.
And again, the 2-2. Got him, strike 3. Martin punched out of there by Tim Welke.
Good slider here by Verlander. You can see the rotation on the pitch. Doesn't break as much, catches the inside corner.
Verlander has his second strikeout. He came in averaging a little over 9 per 9 innings, but so far only 2 today. And a ball low and away to Nelson Cruz.
JV has had some of his best starts this year when he hasn't racked up a ton of strikeouts. Pitching to more contact, getting some easier outs early in counts.
Pulled foul down the third base line. I would think that's always a good thing as a guy gets older in professional baseball in the major leagues. Kind of learn to stick around longer in games by recording less strikeouts.
Especially when you don't have your great stuff, as it was for Verlander against the White Sox 5 days ago. He was out there for 7 innings and had only given up 1 run until the 8th inning when he gave up a couple. Then there were a couple that were left out there that the reliever gave up, but he was tacked with all 5 of them.
7 innings, 5 runs, 3 strikeouts in that loss to Chicago. 1-2 on Nelson Cruz. Two and two. Fouled straight back. Cruz just trying to stay alive.
He spoiled a pretty good pitch right there. 93 fastball on the outside black. Probably would have been called a strike.
Driven to left field on a line and caught by Tuiasa Sopo. It almost sailed over his head. Tui able to stay with it. When we go to the bottom of the 4th, Miguel Cabrera leads it off for Detroit. The first inning, Matt Tuiasosopo with a leaping play out there in left field, saving an extra base hit. And Miguel Cabrera leads it off and looks at ball one. Cabrera fielder Martinez 3, 4, and 5 facing Martin Perez. Miggy had a walk back in the first. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Ground ball third base side, foul.
Now here's a replay of that catch by Tuiasosopo in left field. He was fooled by the swing of Nelson Cruz. That ball had some backspin on it, some carry, and nearly carried over Tui's head.
But in the end, he hauled it in, and Verlander has retired 10 straight. Tigers trying to pad the lead now. They lead 1-0 on the Torrey Hunter home run. Drilled on a line straight at Martin in center field. Hit that ball hard, but right at him, one gone. So Perez now has retired 9 straight. Here's Prince. Prince hit a ball right back to the mound back in the first inning, which resulted in a fielder's choice and a force at second base. 269 for Prince, headed to the All-Star game with his 69 RBIs. And he flies this one in the air to left, routine for Murphy. Two outs, 10 straight, now set down by Perez. There's Victor Martinez. For 1 in this ball game for Victor Martinez. Inside with a fastball up and in. 1-0. 257 now for Victor, who had the 14-game hit streak come to an end. There's the strike called. 1-1. Martinez 21 hits in the month of July. A major resurgence for Victor, who struggled the first 2.5 months of the season or so. Here's the 1-1. 2-1 the count. Batting a cool .404 here in the month of July. Peralta waiting on deck. High fly ball, left field, hit well. Murphy going back, track, wall, he looks up, and that ball is out of here. It's gone. Solo shot, Victor Martinez, 2-0 Detroit. Number 8 for Victor.
Victor knew he was going to get that four-seam fastball from Perez because Perez has been challenging a lot of the hitters today with that heater. And in a 2-1 count, he was looking for it. And Victor's one Tiger that's not going to want to see the All-Star break come here after today's game.
Might be the only thing that could possibly cool him down. Over 400 this month. He is homered again. 415 in July now with 10 RBIs. Tigers have 2 runs on 2 hits, both homers. Otherwise, Perez has matched Verlander today. 2-0 the count on Johnny Peralta. Johnny struck out. That was back in the second. He nubs one off the end of the bat. 2-1.
Perez had given up only 2 home runs in 5 prior starts this year. Has already equaled that total this afternoon.
Fly ball right field. This ball's hit well. Cruz going back to the wall. He won't get it. It's out of here. Opposite field home run for Peralta, and the Tigers have gone back to back. That thing just shot out of here the other way. Three solo homers against Martin Perez.
It's a change up there on the hand of Martin, and Peralta was waiting on it, took the proper direction to get to it, and he muscled that ball out of here because he didn't get a lot of help from Martin. That pitch was only 84 miles an hour.
And it's 3-0 Detroit. Mike Maddox is out to try and calm his young lefty down. Tigers going back to back for the first time since the 6th of this month when Cabby and Prince did it.
Tigers also have one game this year where they went back to back to back, and Tuiasosopo definitely has that kind of pop in his bat should he get something to his liking.
Well, here is Tuiasosopo. He bounced out his first time. And he drives one high in the air to right field, slicing toward the corner, and Cruz up against the wall makes the catch. Nice play by Nelson Cruz. That'll end the inning. Tigers make some noise, though. Back-to-back homers. It was Martinez and Peralta, and it's 3-0. As we go to the top of the 5th inning, and just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one, look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Tigers flexing their muscles here today. It's been Hunter and then Martinez and Peralta. Victor and Johnny going back to back in the 4th, giving Verlander a 3-0 lead.
Nice warm afternoon here with some humidity, and ball appears to be carrying awfully nicely here today for the Tigers.
That it does. So Verlander goes back to the hill, and Justin has retired 10 straight. The only blemish on his mark today was a walk to Martin in the 1st inning, but he was later caught trying to steal. Beltre leads it off, and he takes strike 1. Beltre, then Moreland, then Andrews. Missed it inside, 1-1 the count. Beltre takes a strike. Didn't like it. Tim Wilkie up with the right hand.
Steady diet of sliders to Adrian Beltre so far today. It might not be bad to see if he'll chase a fastball up in the zone. If you throw him another breaking ball, you need to locate it because he might be looking for that next one.
Beltre came in batting .468 this month with 7 homers. And he pops this one up. First base side, Martinez giving chase, and Victor can't quite get it. Gave it the old college try. So Beltre's still alive.
It's a tough play right there, let alone for a guy that doesn't play first base every day. Guys that get consistent reps at first would have had a difficult time making that catch.
And again the 1-2. Another foul back out of play. Beltre staying alive.
5 straight breaking balls from Verlander to Beltre in this pitch sequence. 4 sliders and 1 curveball.
Mitch Moreland waiting on deck. Ooh. Close. 2-2.
One of the best changeups Verlander's thrown today. He was able to finish this when he got it out in front, rolled off the fingertips very nicely. Most of his changeups today have been up in the strike zone. That was a good one.
Bouncing ball back up the middle. Peralta ranging left, gobbles it up. 1 out. Well, you can enjoy 8 Tigers games of your choice as low as $26 per game with the Summer 8-pack, which includes a commemorative Tigers coin and a Tiger Club access pass. Awfully good. 313-471-2255 or visit tigers.com/summer8.
No better place to be this summer than at Comerica Park.
And it promises to be another outstanding second half of baseball here. That's 11 straight retired by JV. That'll bring up Moreland, who flied out back in the second. Ball 1. The last time Verlander faced these Rangers, it was in Texas.
Wasn't good that day either.
Well, was it May 16th? No, it was 8 earnings and 2 2/3. A couple of walks, 6 hits. Much different story today. Strike called. Moreland steps out with a count of 1-1.
And the last time we saw this Texas Rangers team, this cat right here, Moreland, was on fire. He had a really good 4-game series back in May. They took 3 of 4 from the Tigers.
Last night he hit his first home run since June the 4th.
Hit that ball the other way, which is what he does well when he's going good.
Tigers on top 3-0. We're playing in the 5th. Now the 2-1. Outside, 3 balls, 1 strike. Elvis Andrus waiting on deck. Only 1 base runner today for Texas. A walk to Leonis Martin back in the 1st. High, and that's their 2nd base runner. Another walk here by JV. 1 on, 1 out. 11 straight had been retired prior to that at bat.
If you're Miguel, you might want to come in a couple of steps from that 3rd base position. Andrews not necessarily swinging the bat all that effectively right now. And guys that have the ability to bunt, they will take advantage of the 3rd baseman if they give him a lot of room down there.
Andrus grounded out 6-3 to Peralta. Strike 1. Andrus now 1 for his last 14.
And there's all the room that Andrews has down toward third base. If he gets a ball down in that direction, Miguel wouldn't throw him out.
Wow. 0-2. Verlander looking sharp and focused here this afternoon. And the 0-2. Off the inside part of the plate, came back in with a fastball but missed. Inside again, almost hit him that time. 2-2 on Andrews. Elvis earlier this year had a career high 5 hits in a game against the Tigers back in May. That time he was jumping for his life. And it almost caught the jersey. Line drive right field. Hunter is on the move, still going, and he runs it down. The ball was headed to the corner, and Torrey tracked it down. 2 gone. Now Torrey's an all-star this year. Don't forget, Tuesday, baseball's greatest stars gather in the most exciting city in the world for the biggest event of the summer. Baseball's Midsummer Classic returns to New York. Home field advantage on the line. It's the 2013 Major League Baseball All-Star Game live from New York Tuesday, and it's only on Fox. Here's Jurickson Profar now.
Justin Verlander will not pitch at the All-Star Game next week. He is still going to the All-Star Game, but because pitching today, he will be replaced on the roster.
Chris Tillman of the Orioles. And Jim Leland said before the game today that there are a couple of other adjustments that will need to be made, but they'll happen later in the day because of West Coast games. So Verlander will go, but obviously pitching today, will not pitch. Pitchers that do pitch today can tell the skipper, look, I would like to pitch in the All-Star Game. I am good to go. I don't know how often that would happen, but
they have to get the okay from their teams first, right?
No doubt. Here's the 2-0. Ground ball right at first and knocked down by Victor. That'll end the inning. No runs, a walk, 1 left. Tigers have built the lead on back-to-back home runs by Martinez and Peralta. Hunter has also gone deep. It's 3-0 Detroit. Pass last night is the all-time stolen base leader for Texas. And that would be Bump Wills. 1977 to 1981. Kinsler swiped the bag in the ball game last night. And now has 162, which is one more than the bump. And Toby Harris, third on that list. Tigers assistant hitting coach. Here is Alex Avila to start things off. 3-0 in favor of Detroit. We're in the bottom of the fifth.
Coming into play today, in 30 innings of work, Perez had only surrendered 2 homers. And today he has given up 3 homers in 4 innings of work.
Avila, Perez, Jackson. Alex came into this one batting .293 career versus Texas pitching. He is 0 for 1 in this game. That one missed inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Avila. Perez, in between the 3 home runs, had retired 10 straight. Ranked as the 3rd best prospect in the Rangers system coming into play this season. Foul tip into the glove, and that is strike 3. 1 out. Will be the 4th strikeout now for Martin Perez. Under the watchful eye of Mike Maddox, their pitching coach, who is just waiting and hoping that some of the big timers they have on the disabled list will be good to go for the second half. That's pulled right at the third baseman, Profar.
Well, help is on the way. They're going to get Alexio Gondo back on Tuesday. After the All-Star break, he will pitch for the Texas Rangers. And then you have Yu Darvish, who will take his regular turn after the All-Star break, too. So they're going to get a couple of All-Stars back.
2 big ones, too.
Well, Gondo, a former All-Star. Darvish made the team this year.
Jackson hits a ground ball to short. Andrus on the backhand.
That was an easy inning.
It was indeed a 1-2-3 inning. And as we go to the 6th, Justin Verlander will go back to the hill with a 3-0 lead.
records on the board early in the first inning. And then it was Victor Martinez playing long ball into left center field. It went into the Texas Rangers bullpen, and and then Peralta goes the other way for a solo shot. Apo Taco. So you had one to left center, and then one to right field for Peralta.
There you have it. They are responsible for all of the offense today for Detroit, for both teams actually. Here are the numbers on Justin Verlander. In 5 innings of work, he's been spectacular today.
No blemishes there.
Top 6 coming up, and the first pitch to Giovanni Soto is a little high, 1-0.
Verlander has not thrown many fastballs today to the Rangers hitters. Lots of sliders, lots of curveballs, and a few changeups. There's another curveball that drops in there very nicely.
Soto struck out back in the 3rd. And he looks at a ball outside. 2-1 the count. 4 of Soto's last 9 hits are homers. And that's his total for the year, 4 home runs. Strike called as he looks back at Tim Welke. 2-2. Soto 3 for his last 33. Now Verlander ready with the 2-2. High fly ball down the left field line. That one will sail foul. One of those home runs that he has hit this year, coming off Justin Verlander. A.J. Pierzynski, the starting catcher for the Rangers. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Outside, 3-2. JV has walked 2 batters today. He walked Moreland last inning and then Martin back in the 1st. Drill down the left field line. It is hooking and foul. 3-2 the count stays.
Soto thought he had one.
Again the 3-2. Walked him. Third base on balls now for Verlander. Well, we have a chance. We go back to the studio with an update. Shannon Hogan. All right, Shannon, thank you. Well, the Royals came in 7 back. And of course the Indians a game and a half back. KC trying to go into the break on a positive note. There's a strike called on David Murphy. Murphy flied out to left field back in the 3rd. Bouncing in, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Unusual start here for Verlander. Take a look at the percentage of fastballs thrown in the game. 89 pitches and 33% of them have been fastballs. 67% off speed. There are starts this year when Verlander would be 50-50, but never 33% fastballs.
Well, that was just his 90th pitch, or that last one was his 90th.
And he's been able to get ahead of the Rangers hitters. That's not been an issue. No, first pitch strikes are good.
That mix has worked. 2-2 on Murphy. On deck, Ian Kinsler. 2 out of 10 in this series for David Murphy. Rolled foul down the first base line.
Xfinity's got a couple numbers for us. And regarding Verlander's top fastball today, 94 has been the top fastball. His last outing 5 days ago, he threw just one pitch above 95 miles an hour.
Got him, strike 3. Murphy caught looking. That is number 3 for Justin.
Good pitch here by Verlander. It's a fastball. It's 91. It's right down the middle. It's down at the knees. And Murphy may have gotten caught thinking about off-speed pitches because Verlander's thrown so many today. And he takes that fastball that he should have hit.
So with 1 out, here is the top of the lineup, Ian Kinsler.
And just as we put up 94 at the top fastball, he dials up to 95.
Take that. Kinsler is 0 for 2. Pop up and a fly ball. Ball 1. Justin came in at 69 and 29 career at Comerica Park. 40 games over 500 in this ballpark. Drilled to center field on a line, but straight at Jackson. Kinsler is out. 2 gone.
Last 4 years, very impressive run for the Tigers ace. 200 or more innings, 200 or more strikeouts, back-to-back strikeout winning totals in the American League. The list really goes on and on.
Now Martin, a walk and a strikeout. Swing and a miss. There's a soft liner into center field. Jackson will run it down. Inning over. No runs, a walk, 1 left. Tigers still up 3-0. Network broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. We welcome you all. On a beautiful day for baseball here in the Motor City. We wrap up the first half of 2013, and right now the Tigers doing it in style. They lead 3-0. Justin Verlander, 97 pitches, has allowed 3 walks in this game, and that's it. Now Torrey Hunter leads it off. Torrey is responsible for the first Tigers run, a homer back in the first. Martin Perez still out there for the Rangers, and a ball low, 2-0 the count.
Only 2 other number 2 hitters in the American League have driven in more runs than Torrey Hunter. And that would be Mike Trout and Manny Machado of the Baltimore Orioles. All 3 are going to the All-Star game.
Now it's 3-0.
Torrey has 44 RBIs.
Cabrera to follow, and that'll be Prince Fielder. It'll be the 2, 3, and 4 men for Jim Leyland today. And then he walked him on 4 straight.
Here's today's high-speed stat brought to you by Charter Internet. And Miguel Cabrera has favorable numbers to Hank Aaron through their first 30 years on this earth. Batting averages are similar. Home runs, slight edge for Miggy. RBIs, Hammer and Hank. And 32 4-hit games for both of them.
Miggy stands in now with 1 on, nobody out.
Hank Aaron, one of the classiest men that have ever played this game, still works in the Atlanta Braves front office.
.366 right now for Cabrera. The highest batting average he had heading into the All-Star break prior to this year was .346. That was 2010. Ball low, and now 2-0, and meanwhile that's 6 in a row that have missed the strike zone for Martin Perez. Hey, the search is on. Think you have what it takes to join Brittany and Stephanie as the new Fox Sports Detroit girl? Go to foxsportsdetroit.com, upload your photos, and submit your video. Perez, who needed just 6 pitches to get through the 5th, has now thrown 6 out of the strike zone to start the 6th inning. 64 total for Perez. And he missed again.
Miguel was taking that 2-0 pitch all the way. Did not believe that Perez would throw him a strike, and he didn't.
Walked him. That is 8 straight balls to start this inning. It's going to ring like Maddox out again. At one point, Perez had retired 10 straight, then back-to-back homers by Martinez and Peralta. We were talking about this earlier, Rod, but before the game today, the Tigers All-Stars were honored in a little bit of a ceremony today.
And the fans gave all of the guys a really nice round of applause. Well-deserved applause for the Tigers All-Stars.
All receiving their jerseys.
Many believe that Max Scherzer has a legitimate chance of starting for the American League All-Star team on Tuesday night.
That'll be Leland's choice.
He doesn't have a whole lot to pick from.
Here is Prince Fielder now with 2 on, nobody out. Tigers trying to stretch their 3-0 lead. Inside on another one, misses from Perez.
9 balls in a row, but if you're Prince Fielder, you know sooner or later he's going to try to thread that needle with that fastball right down the middle, and be ready for it.
Strike called. Fielder, a 2-time winner in the home run derby. He'll participate again this year. He won it in 09 and won it last year, of course, in KC.
He and Ken Griffey Jr. are the only two to win it twice.
The 1-1. Tried to hold up, did he? Yep. Did not go.
You got your money on Prince on Monday?
Oh, no doubt.
You do?
If I was a betting man, it would be on the Prince.
You got it on the Prince?
Yep. How about you?
I'm not going to bet against him. I'm not going to bet against Prince.
Here's the 2-1. High fly ball. Shallow center. Martin under it. 1 out. Here's Victor Martinez. Victor has one of the 3 Tigers homers in this game.
Victor going to get a lot more opportunities the second half of the year to drive in big runs, because it's apparent now that teams are going to start pitching around Cabrera. And Perez has already pitched around Miggy twice today. Which means if Prince doesn't get it done, Victor will have a golden opportunity to drive in a lot of runs second half of the year.
Ball 1 outside.
In case you're wondering about the arms in the outfield for the Texas Rangers, should Martinez get a base hit. Murphy in left has an average arm, but Martin and Beltre in center and right field both have above average arms. Both can really throw from their respective positions. Cruz, excuse me.
Misses again. 2 balls, no strikes on Victor Martinez. Well, Perez has been so economical with the amount of pitches he's thrown in this game. He's only at 72 right now.
Falling behind everybody in this inning. Good count for Victor to hit in 2-0. He's already hit 1 fastball out of the ballpark today.
And he popped it up. Shallow right field. Nelson Cruz coming in. So 2 outs and the runners are holding.
Well, so far the strategy by Perez and the catcher Soto to pitch around Cabrera, who is standing at first base, has been good for him through the first 2 outs of the inning.
Perez has missed on 12 of his 15 pitches in this inning. Peralta stands in with a home run in his back pocket. That happened back in the 4th. Made it 3-0 Detroit. Johnny's 8th of the year. And a ball that he hit the other way that got out really in a hurry.
He's done that a few times this year. Power the opposite way.
There's a soft liner over the head of Kinsler into center field. Here comes the throw to the plate, not in time. Hunter scores, and it's 4-0 Detroit.
Tigers this year have been one of the best teams in the majors at driving in runs after 2 are out. And Peralta got crowded for it by a fastball, but he muscled it into center. Torrey had to get on his horse because we just told you Martin can really throw from that center field position, and that one just over the glove of the second baseman, Ian Kinsler.
And even though Perez has thrown just 74 pitches in this game, he's coming out Ron Washington makes his way out to the mound. They will make a pitching change. 3 out of the 4 runs today have come with 2 outs. And it's a Wallside Windows pitching change. We'll be back. Brought to you by AT&T Uverse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PICK-ATT. Rethink possible. And by 5-Hour Energy Shots. Well, the Tigers have added 1 more, and now Matt Tuiasosopo will stand in. 4-0 in favor of Detroit. Tuiasosopo is 0 for 2 in this game. Ground ball, fly ball. And the first pitch is in for a strike. From the new pitcher of the Texas Rangers, Corey Burns is on now.
Yeah, Burns has a fastball that sinks. It also runs. He also has a 4-seam straight fastball that will get up to 91. Change-up and slider to go along with those. And get this, he throws a knuckleball too.
Really? That's in for a strike. Burns is a Wildcat from University of Arizona. Pitched in San Diego last year. Tuiasosopo trying to pick up a couple of runners. And the 0-2. He slings one home that misses outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Texas pen has really been good in their last 7 games. 21 1/3 innings pitched. Only 1 run. 1 earned run. Bouncing ball back up the middle into center. Base hit. Cabrera rumbling around third. He's going to score. The ball is overrun by Martin. And the Tigers add another 5-0.
And Martin in center field takes his eye off the ball momentarily, thinking he might have a chance to throw Miguel out at home plate. And once you peek up, that's the difference in you not fielding that ball cleanly.
Don Kelly will pitch run down at first base. 5 runs, 5 hits for Detroit. And that run belongs to the starter, Perez. Here's Avila. Strike one on Alex. Avila today with a strikeout and a ground out. Way inside. Nice play by Soto to stop that ball from going to the backstop. Two and one. Burns originally selected by Cleveland back in 2009, traded to San Diego, and then traded to the Rangers last November. He appeared in 17 games out of the bullpen for San Diego last year. 25 years old, born in Phoenix. Bouncing in. 3-1. Hernan Perez waiting on deck. Avila now way ahead in the count here, trying to drive in another 2-out run. Missed it outside. He walked him.
We brought this up earlier. The Tigers and the Texas Rangers, two of the top teams as far as driving in runs after two are out. Tigers are on top. Texas is third. The Cleveland Indians are right there in second. They've driven in 189 of their total runs this year after two are out. 4 of the 5 runs the Tigers have today are after two are out.
Hernan Perez batting here now with the bases loaded. Burns has come in, giving up a single and a walk. Slings one outside, 1-0. Burns has that hip turn to try and form a little deception on his delivery to the plate. Bases are loaded right now. That runner at third, Peralta, belongs to the starter. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Johnny Peralta with an RBI single in this inning. Ground ball foul, third base side. One and two. Martin Perez had given up 3 home runs, but by and large had pitched a pretty good ball game today until the leadoff walks here in the 6th. That got him into hot water.
He only gave up 4 hits.
The 1-2. Rolled foul again. 3 of them left the ballpark. All solo shots. Hunter, Martinez, Peralta. And again the 1-2. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Perez, prior to his call-up, was hitting .300 at AA Erie. Last year, one of the better defenders in the Florida State League at Lakeland. Pulled foul again. Tigers making the most of their 5 hits today. 5 runs on 5 hits. And Justin Verlander has been the recipient of all the offense. Popped up. First base side, Moreland. And foul ground to end the inning. However, 2 more runs on the scoreboard for Detroit. Verlander will take the hill in the 7th.
Through the first 6 innings here today really has given up nothing to the Texas Rangers. Good breaking balls all afternoon long. He's also got some help from his defenders. Avila threw out Perez earlier in the game, and then Tuiasa Sopo made a nice grab, and Torrey Hunter took a double away from Elvis Andrus. So very nice outing so far by Justin Verlander.
Verlander threw 6, has walked 3, has struck out 3, has not given up a run, and Nelson Cruz leads it off. Verlander here in the 7th inning will face 3, 4, and 5 in the Rangers lineup.
And if you're just joining us this afternoon, about 35% of the pitches that Verlander has thrown today have been fastballs. 65% off-speed pitches out of the tall right-hander's hand today.
Into shallow right field, Perez handles it, 1 gone.
Torrey Hunter looking at Perez and saying to him, if I knew you were going to have that much trouble with that, I would have called you off of that.
Don Kelly stays in the game to play left for Detroit. That'll bring up Adrian Beltre. A couple of ground balls to the shortstop today. Beltre hammers it way foul. Upper deck.
Last time Beltre was up, Verlander threw him 6 straight off-speed pitches, and really has thrown him off-speed pitches all afternoon long until starting him off with a fastball right there.
It's an even 100 now for JV. Here's the 0-1. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Justin 14 of 22 in first pitch strikes so far today.
Drew Smiley, Bruce Rondon warming up.
How about Rondon a couple days ago? 10 pitches, 10 strikes.
Little looper into center field, but it's straight at Jackson, who makes the catch. 2 gone. And that'll bring up Mitch Moreland. Walking a fly ball for Moreland. The only base runners today for Texas, all walks. Martin, Moreland, Soto. Grounded foul, first base side. What a difference a start makes for Verlander against these Rangers. Back on May 16th, he gave up 8 earned runs in 2 2/3.
The 8 earnings, the most that Verlander has given up in any game in his career.
Here's the 0-1. Driven to right center field. That ball's hit pretty well. Jackson on the run, not going to get it. Up against the wall. It's extra bases for Moreland. He will pull in with a 2-out double, ending the no-hit bid for Justin Verlander. And the crowd gives him a standing ovation.
It was beginning to look like we were going to see the second no-hitter in back-to-back days. Tim Lincecum threw one last night for the San Francisco Giants.
Homer Bailey also with a no-hitter this year, but Verlander will fall a little bit short. 2-out double by Moreland here in the 7th. Here is Elvis Andrus, and he pops it up. Right side of the infield. Martinez to end the inning. So the no-hitter is gone, but the Tigers still have the lead. And we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Score, there is a 1 in the hit column for the Texas Rangers, which means that Justin Verlander's no-hit bid is ended, Rod, with 2 outs in the 7th inning. And I'm with you. It was starting to look a lot like we were going to get no-hitters on back-to-back days with Lincecum's yesterday. Justin Verlander today has just been basically untouchable.
You know, and I like the effort that he has here today. I mean, you don't see a sense of urgency with Verlander. Very cool, calm, and collected. Kind of reminds me of that no-hitter that he threw in Toronto, where he really didn't have all of his great stuff, but he was able to use enough of his arsenal to throw a no-hitter that today. Not a great fastball today, but good breaking balls, good changeups.
Here's the other thing I like about today's game, and having played, you know what it's like to go into an all-star break. Sometimes, man, you just can't wait to hit that break. But the Tigers are not giving away at bats today. They've hit a couple of home runs, and they've built a nice little lead here.
You know, especially guys like Hunter and Victor Martinez, a couple of guys that have had monster months of July. And so you do take into account what they've done here today. And here's what they've done here today. Torrey Hunter got it going earlier against Perez. He got a hanging breaking ball. He hit it out to left field. Then Victor Martinez, he has been one of the hottest hitters in the big leagues in the month of July. He hit a solo shot as well. That came in the 4th inning. And then you have Peralta also playing long ball the opposite way. So Tigers hitters getting busy today against Perez. And Perez coming into play today had only given up 2 home runs in 30 innings this year. 3 today in 5 innings.
2 RBI day for Peralta. Tuiasosopo getting into the act as well. And JB has done the rest. Tigers have the lead as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. And for Detroit, it'll be the top of the order. Jackson, Hunter, and then Cabrera. Facing Corey Burns. AJ is 0 for 3. And he looks at ball 1 high. Burns came out in the 6th. Gave up an RBI single, a walk, and then he got Perez to pop up with the bases loaded. 5-0 in favor of Detroit. An excuse me swing and a soft blooper that is caught on a mini leap by Mitch Moreland. 1 out. Hey, by the way, the Tigers battle the Phillies in a weekend interleague series July 26th through the 28th at Comerica Park. Friday, July 26th, the first 10,000 fans receive a Tigers rally towel. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
Fighting Phillies coming to town?
Fighting Phils are in. Interleague play continues. Here's Torrey Hunter. He rolls one foul, third base side, 0-1. Torrey today with a solo homer. He's also walked and has scored 2 runs for the Tigers this afternoon. Beefing up his numbers heading to the All-Star game. 7 home runs, 44 RBIs. Ball inside. Now the 1-1. Inside again, 2-1. Of the Tigers that are going to the All-Star game, maybe Max Scherzer will have the most fun because it's his first and he may start the game. Who knows? But Torrey, I think, is going to appreciate it as much, if not more, than any of them there, because who knows if he'll get a chance to play in one again. And he realizes how special it is to be recognized as an All-Star.
You're right about Max having fun, but it'll come after he pitches his inning on Tuesday night. Before that, it's going to be stress-free. It'll be stress-free after that.
And who knows when that inning will be. 3-1. Popped up foul, back out of play. Full count now on Torrey Hunter. 1 out in the 7th. Tigers up 5-0. If they can hold on to this game, they will finish the first half at 10 over, 52-42. Pulled foul. Rookie's getting wise in his older age down there at third base. He just let that one go by. He could have made a play on that ball.
I don't think Brookie's gone for one all year.
Very wise.
Not his first rodeo.
I also don't think Tom Brookins has gained a pound since his playing days. which I remind him of every time I see him. Taking over this year as the third base coach for Jim Leyland. 3-2. Down the right field line, slicing away. Eight pitch at bat right now for Torrey. Battling away here against the right-hander, Corey Burns. Straight back. University of Arizona, that program has produced some big leaguers. There is Joe Ortiz warming up. He looked good the other night. I saw him coming out of their bullpen. Here's a drive to left field. It's going to be a base hit right in front of Murphy.
Miguel has done major damage in his career against the Texas Rangers, and that's why they have already walked him twice today. In 59 games, a .385 career average with 12 homers and 61 driven in. And when the Tigers had a visit in Texas earlier this year, Miguel left the building 3 times on a Sunday night game. So Miguel just continues to punish Texas Rangers pitching.
He's punished a whole lot of people here in the first half. Mike Maddox is getting a whole lot of face time here today. Chatting now with Burns. So here is Cabrera, and Miguel in this game, couple of walks and a run scored. Pulled to third base on a backhand profile to second one, and the relay is a double play. 5-4-3 and a sharply hit ball. 7 in the books here at Comerica Park as we go to the 8th. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. Go to the top of the 8th inning. The Tigers offense 3 solo homers in this contest, and 4 of their 5 runs They've come with 2 outs. Hunter Martinez Peralta going deep, and JV had a no-hitter going through 6 2/3 before it was broken up by a Moreland double. Wallside Windows pitching change. Drew Smiley is on now for Detroit.
It's been one really nice first half of the season for the young left-hander. 195 earned run average, and the Tigers will lean heavily on Drew Smiley the second half of the year. He started the season as the long man in their bullpen. Now he's their 8th inning guy.
So Smiley facing the bottom 3. Profar, Soto, Murphy due up here in the top of the 8th. Way high with the first pitch, 1-0.
That is a nice promotion.
Yes,
Set up
it
guy
is.
at the beginning of the year, not knowing how many innings that you're going to get, to now being trusted with the lead late in games.
But it's a promotion that is well deserved because you have to show some consistency to be given that spot.
Throws lots of strikes, usually does not walk people, and he has had the knack for throwing strikes since coming up to the big leagues last year.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Good fastball, gets up to 93. Every now and then he'll touch 94. Also cuts the fastball in on the right-handers. Nice changeup and a slider.
In the air to shallow center. Jackson is there, 1 gone.
And he pitches like he's been in the big leagues for 10 years.
He has that demeanor about him and really has had since spring training 2 years ago when he was battling for the spot in the Tigers rotation. Here's Soto. That's pulled into left, base hit.
I have a really good friend that works in the Oakland Athletics organization in their front office, and he told me a couple of years ago when the Oakland Athletics were getting ready to trade Gio Gonzalez. The Tigers inquired about Gio Gonzalez, and the Oakland Athletics, they were asking for Drew Smiley. So the Tigers didn't call him back.
They just hung up.
Yeah, well, end of the conversation.
No thanks. Have a nice day.
And Gio's a good pitcher.
Yeah, he is. Murphy skies one in the air to center field. AJ under it. 2 down.
And the Tigers thought to themselves, now if teams are already asking for Drew Smiley and he hasn't pitched above Double-A, we must have someone special here. And he made their team out of spring training the next year.
Here's Kinsler. Well, through that whole battle 2 years ago in spring training, Smiley just seemed at home with battling for a spot. Did not seem nervous. Put together good outing after good outing.
He and Porcello were locked in a pretty good battle this year for that number 5 spot. Porcello had a great spring. Smiley had a good spring too.
Sure did. Kinsler has put the ball in the air 3 times in this game. That's it for a strike.
Kinsler, dead pull hitter. If you want to have success against him, you need to make him hit the ball the other way. He does have base hit ability that way, but not a lot of pop when going to center field and right field for Ian.
Now the 1-1. Swing and a miss.
Here's proof of that. Just 11 base hits so far this year in that right field direction for Kinsler. Major damage done to left, and usually when he goes to left, he's hitting it out of the yard.
And the 1-2. Ball high. Justin Verlander, by the way, left the game with a tight right quad.
Really?
Yes, that's what we are told. And we did some digging on his numbers. His ERA down to 3.50 heading into the All-Star break, and hopefully 10 wins. If the bullpen does their job. Fly ball. Shallow left. Kelly on the charge. Still coming. That'll do it for the Rangers. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th here at Comerica. Tigers still in command. Justin Verlander on May 5th at Houston had a no-hitter through 6 1/3. Today here against Texas, 6 2/3.
A lot more strikeouts that afternoon against Houston. 9 strikeouts that day, only 3 punch-outs today against Texas.
Verlander right now stands to be the winner if the Tigers will put this one away. In the meantime, they'll bat here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Fielder Martinez Peralta. And Prince skies one in the air to left center field. That'll be a routine play for Martin. 1 pitch, 1 out. New pitcher is Joe Ortiz.
We saw Ortiz the other day, and he did pretty good work in the game that he came in on Friday evening. He's got a firm fastball, gets up to 92. Also a slider that he'll throw about 32% of the time. And he's got a nice changeup as well that fades away from the right-handed batters.
Victor Martinez has homered in this game, his 8th of the year. Ball 1.
You doing anything fun for the break? You going to get around a little water?
Not going to be able to do that. I'm headed to Wichita, Kansas.
Wichita.
Yeah, I see my son play some baseball in the summer league. I'm sure it'll be nice and cool there.
Well, you won't be far from Kansas City then.
I will not. I'll meet you in KC.
You're going to be eating ribs all week.
Yes, I will. How'd you know? Martinez out of there. 2 gone. Hey, as soon as the game ends, our coverage continues. Tigers Live is gearing up as we speak. Here from manager Jim Leland, the players as well. We'll break this game down and show you all the highlights. Tigers Live immediately after the game from the Coliseum Studios on Fox Sports Detroit. You, meanwhile, are headed where?
I'm going to go out west. Go out west and get around a little bit of water.
Nice.
And relax. I'm not going to call too many family members.
You gonna lay low?
I'm going to lay low.
Ron Washington coming out. Peralta was ready to step back in, and looks like Ortiz will give up the baseball. Wilmer Font was warming up, and so he will check in. We shall return. Chevrolet, we're going to take a look at something different. The potential all-star starters for the American League. And here's 4 we've got for you, Rod. What do you think?
Well, Felix Hernandez pitched yesterday and pitched very well, pitched 8 innings. I think Max is going to get the ball. I think Jim is going to reward Max Scherzer 13-1 with not only his first All-Star appearance, but he's going to get the start for the American League team.
Well, I think you're probably right on there. And it would be a great honor for Mad Max. Meanwhile, Wilmer Font is on now for Texas. Ball high. Here's Mr. Scherzer.
Took his first loss of the season yesterday against this Texas Rangers team. Max was talking about Texas on Friday, and he knew it was going to be tough to beat them. They got a well-balanced squad with speed and power. They play defense, and it didn't hurt that Derek Holland pitched a great game yesterday opposing Max.
Meanwhile, it's 3-0 on Johnny Peralta. Here's the 3-0 pitch. And he walked in ball 4.
And we saw Font a couple of days ago as well. He's got a straight fastball. It's firm. It's in the mid-90s as well. He's got a sharp slider and that tops out at 82, and he also features a pretty good changeup.
5 base on balls today for Texas pitching as Don Kelly stands in for his first at bat. Came on as a pinch runner. Did you hear about Jeremy Bonderman?
I heard about Jeremy Bonderman.
Signed by the Tigers to a AAA contract, was let go by Seattle.
He was pitching well for Seattle. What, he had a couple of rocky ones before they decided to part ways with him?
Must have, because ZRA was near 5. He was 1-3.
And he probably could have gone back down to the minors and stayed in that organization in Seattle, but they probably gave him the option of going down or taking his release.
Pulled foul.
That would be a nice end to the story for Jeremy Bonderman if somehow, some way, he pitched well enough down there in Toledo to find himself up here on this big club at some point in time.
Still have really good memories of the postseason in 2006 with Jeremy. We wish him well. Here's the 1-2 outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bonderman to report to Toledo on Thursday. Back in the Tigers system. Bouncing in. Soto blocks it. 2-2.
That's where the term Mr. Snappy was coined. Jeremy Bonderman, he had one of the best sliders in the American League when he was healthy for about 2-3 years. It was a good pitch.
Runner going on 3-2, and it's a check swing foul back out of play. Five runs, 6 hits for Detroit. No runs, 2 hits for Texas. Justin Verlander, a no-hitter through 6 2/3 in this game before Mitch Moreland broke it up with a double to right center. And a ground ball slowly toward third. Profar on the charge will barehand it and throw it away. Peralta to third base.
I don't know if he gets Don Kelly anyway with a good throw. We'll see what they rule it, though.
I think that's a single E5.
And Profar is not a third baseman by trade. He is a shortstop, but Ron Washington having to find ways to get him into the lineup every day because he's so young. And they need to develop him up here, but he drops down to a sidearm angle here. And that throw just kind of sails on him, and Moreland on the other side couldn't help him out at all.
So now the Tigers send Alex Avila to the plate.
More than likely when Lance Berkman comes off the disabled list for the Rangers in the second half, they're going to have to send Profar back down to the minors.
Here's Murphy coming to foul ground to make the catch. That was a single E5, by the way. Inning is over, so we are headed to the 9th. 5-0 Detroit. The Tigers as we go to the ninth inning. Last call here for the Rangers. 5-0 in favor of Detroit. Leonis Martin will start things off. And he looks at ball one inside from Drew Smyly. Martin, Cruz, Beltre facing the Tigers left-hander. Smyly came on in the eighth. Gave up a single but no damage. That's in for a strike. 1-1. Only 2 hits today for the Rangers. Single and a double. Rolled foul. 1-2. And the 1-2. That'll go foul. For the longest time today, Verlander had given up just 3 walks until that double in the 7th inning broke up the no-hit bid. Cruz waiting on deck. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss. There goes the bat. Struck him out. Hey, the Tigers tangle with the Philadelphia Phillies in a weekend interleague series, July 26th through the 28th at Comerica Park. If you'd like tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Jim Leyland takes the baseball from Smyly. He'll be done after 1 1/3. And Joaquin Benoit will come in out of the Detroit bullpen. As they make a change, we'll step aside. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, the official window company of Fox Sports Detroit. Joaquin Benoit is the new Tigers pitcher as we play here in the ninth inning. 1 out, nobody on. Tigers on top by a 5-0 score. Nelson Cruz is 0 for 3 as you scope out the numbers on Benoit.
Great first half for Benoit. All-star worthy numbers, but everybody can't go. He's only walked 12 and he struck out 48 this year in the 36 games he's been in.
Lifted down the right field line, foul.
this much I can say. Joaquin Benoit, the last 3 years, 4 years, if you go back to the 1 year in Tampa, he's been one of your more consistent eighth inning guys in all of baseball.
Sliding into the ninth inning for the Tigers. Here's the 0-2 coming. Ground ball foul. Pretty good pick there by Gary Pettis.
He was an outfielder too.
Yeah.
And a good one.
Oh, 0-2. Only 2 hits allowed to this Texas offense today, courtesy of Justin Verlander, Drew Smyly, and now Joaquin Benoit. Swing and a miss.
Today's whiff of the game is brought to you by Head and Shoulders, and Tigers ace Justin Verlander took the hill today against the Texas Rangers. Only gave up 1 hit. That hit didn't come until after he had 2 outs in the 6th inning. Didn't have many strikeouts. Couple on breaking balls, 1 on fastballs. Just a real good outing for Justin Verlander today.
1 more out to go for the Tigers, and they will win their 52nd game. Ball 1 high to Adrian Beltre.
How many pitches you think Jim would have allowed Justin Verlander to go today if he still had that no-hitter intact? Was the sky the limit?
Great question. Well, I think he might have had more room because of the All-Star break.
Because Lincecum, needed 148 yesterday to complete his no-hitter?
That's when it really gets dicey. Which I think was the same amount that
Edwin threw 149, I think.
Oh, did he?
Just 1 more.
1 ball, 1 strike. I don't know. It's a great question. He finished at 105. Now Benoit ready with the 1-1 pitch. High, 2 balls, 1 strike. Two and 1 on Adrian Beltre. Benoit replacing Smyly, who started this inning. Smyly goes an inning and a third out of the Detroit bullpen. In for a strike. 2 and 2 on Beltre. $41,617 on their feet. The 2-2. 3 and 2. Tigers open up the second half in Kansas City. They then go to Chicago. Road trip to start the second half. They'll see a lot of the White Sox. Final 2 months of the year. Fouled off. Beltre stays alive.
Tip of the cap to the fans that have stayed here today, and even the ones that have left. Very hot, humid day here today at Comerica Park, but a lot of people still here, standing up, waiting for that 27th out.
Mid-80s today here at the ballpark. 86 right now, but humid. Sun beat down on him, looking for that final strike. Benoit again ready with the 3-2 pitch. Here it is. It hit him. Beltre is hit by the pitch, and he will take first base. Well, you can swing for the fences with the new Home Run Derby mobile game from MLB.com. It's available on iPhone and iPad. Download it for free today.
Three-two fastball got away from Joaquin Benoit and hit Adrian Beltre right on the back of the left leg.
Beltre coming out of the game. He's going to be replaced by Beltre. Engel Beltre. That is your pinch runner. So the ball game's still alive for Texas. Mitch Moreland will stand in. And it's in for a strike, 0-1. Moreland broke up the no-hit bid. Doubled against Verlander with 2 outs in the 7th. And now trying to keep the game alive. Missed it away. 1 ball, 1 strike. The only 2 hits today for Texas, the double by Moreland and then a single by Soto in the 8th inning. That came against Smiley. Justin Verlander today threw 105 total pitches before departing after 7 strong, lowering his ERA to 3.5. Runner going, and a check swing outside. Beltre moves up to second base. 2-1 the count. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss by Moreland. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So again, Benoit now has this thing reduced to a single strike.
94 mile per hour fastball out of the hand of Benoit. Right by Mitch Moreland.
And the 2-2 pitch coming home. Fouled straight back. Rangers have not had a man touch third today, and Beltre in this inning becomes just the second runner to touch second. That's how dominating Justin Verlander was this afternoon. 1 strike away from winning number 10 for JV. Two and 2 on Mitch Moreland. Swing and a miss to strike him out, and that puts an exclamation point on the first half. So the Tigers, with their win today, will roll to 52-42, 10 games over the 500 mark, pending the outcome of the Cleveland game. Right now they're 2 up on the Indians.
Well, we promised you this earlier in the game, so now we're going to show it to you. It is Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And Tigers went back-to-back with the home runs today. It was against their starter, Martin Perez. Victor Martinez solo shot into left center field, and then Oppo Taco for Johnny Peralta. That would be an opposite field home run. He played long ball as well.
So the Tigers take 2 out of 3 from the Texas Rangers and end the first half on a positive note. 5-0 our final score here today. Our coverage continues with Tigers Live postgame. We send you to the Call Sam Studios and Shannon Hogan.